I wasn't done. I just didn't want someone to hear what this lady was saying because some people really think it's really weird when people act like this. So let's continue.
Him if I can find him. These people may have some brown undertones, and those undertones can come out when they stay in the sun more.
That's not a brown undertone. It's brown skin. What do you mean undertone? If the skin is brown, it's not an undertone, it's the color of the skin, which is brown.
But these people are still light-skinned, in my opinion. They're just a deeper colored light-skinned person. Let's look at pictures of people in this skin tone range with and without a tan. The reason a lot of caramel people are still thrown into the light-skinned category is because when they don't have a tan, they go back to their natural color and they tend to turn like a bright reddish beigey color. Some of these terms...
That's not light skin to me because I still see brown in the skin tone. The thing is, to me, in this situation, you're making the lighting brighter in this photo and showing photos where the lighting is bright, so then she'll look even lighter and look as if she doesn't have brown in her skin. But you can still see the brown undertone in her skin, so to speak. Excuse me. It's not really an undertone. It's just a light hue of brown. You know, this is why when she wears foundation, it's tan. All foundations that are tan are in the brown skinned category. Continue though.
Are used interchangeably. I've been called yellow bone, red bone, and even high yellow depending on my tan level. I've called myself caramel before, but I've been told multiple times that I should stop calling myself that because I'm not caramel. So I'm probably somewhere in the middle of the light skin range. I'm not the lightest person in the world, but I'm also not the darkest light skinned person either.
See, you're showing Will Smith in lighting where it's bright. In normal lighting inside the house, he has a brown hue. And if he were to have foundation placed on his skin to match his skin, it would be tan. Tan is it's a type of brown skin. Therefore, it can't be light skin because it's still a type of brown skin.
And oh my gosh, has anyone noticed how when you're light-skinned, you're not allowed to determine your own skin tone? Like, if you call yourself a red bone, it's frowned upon. Only other people are allowed to call you that. And only other people get to decide if you're light-skinned or not. It's almost like being light-skinned is this crown that another person has to bestow upon you. They make it such a big deal in the Black community. They love...
I must agree with that. It does seem like some people act like it's such a special thing when being light-skinned is not a special thing. And honestly, I would say it's less ideal than being dark-skinned. I would prefer to be dark-skinned. If I had a choice between being light-skinned, like yellow, or dark-skinned, I would choose to be dark-skinned. But I prefer the color I am, which is brown-skinned, caramel. I think caramel's the best for me. I'm not going to say caramel's better than other people's skin tones. That's just rude. I'm just saying, personally, for me, I'm happy with my skin tone as it is. But if I had to choose something else, I would choose to be dark skin over light skin.
Policing who's light-skinned and who's not. And has anyone noticed that it's usually darker-skinned, unambiguous people who police the term light-skinned the most? I have never in my life heard of another light-skinned person police the term light-skinned unless they're one of those people who has that mindset where it's like, if you're darker than me, then you're not light-skinned. That's a very ignorant Blackistan talking point that I have occasionally...
No, people who are yellow, they're not trying to be mean many of the time. They just see brown complexions as not the same as them because they're aware they're not brown. You know, and people who are brown are a different color than them. It's just what it is. It's not like it's nothing wrong with it. Just like I am brown and I recognize that I'm a different color than a light-skinned person. You should be able to accept that you're brown and you're not light-skinned, and that's not a bad thing. You know, you're just different from them, you know, just like you're different from dark-skinned people, you know. We're all black at the end of the day. Continue, though.
Heard other light-skinned people use, and I ignore that talking point because the problem is, if you're in Blackistan, they're going to make you think you're way darker and way more black than you actually are. So I did a Google image search on my...
I can see what you're saying there, but they might be just reacting to the fact that you're tanned. But like I said, with skin tone, you already admitted Jennifer Hudson is brown skin. If she's brown skin, you're brown skin. You're obviously closer to her complexion than Mariah Carey. So, that's just how it is.
Own skin tone. And the closest person that I could find to my skin tone was Shamar Moore. The second closest person was Chris Brown, who was a little bit more tan than me. And then the third closest was Rihanna, who was also a bit more tan.
Yeah, I remember you did say that your complexion is similar to a Fenty 300 or 310, and I believe Rihanna's is 330. So you're like a shade darker, I think, but that's it. Continue.
Than me. Even I have had people try to make me feel like I'm a dark-skinned, unambiguous African person. But those same people want to call Rihanna and Chris Brown light-skinned, who are both more tan than me. This is what happens.
No, they don't. Many of the time, they'll still say she's brown skinned too.
Blackistan. People will try to deny your mixed race heritage. They will try to pretend like you're not really light skinned, and they're doing that to put you in your place. And this is why I tell people you have to be unapologetic.
It's not putting you in a certain category, it's just being real. Like, there's 3 different shades. I don't know why you have to be so sad about this. Continue, though.
About who you are. If they get to determine what unambiguous blackness is and what dark-skinned is, then we get to determine what mixed race and what light-skinned is. So I don't care if you're white passing or if you have light.
Why would you determine what light skin is if you're not even light skinned, though? Like, maybe you determine what brown skin is. Like, just being real.
Brown skin. I consider both to still be on the light skin spectrum. If people are constantly calling you nicknames like yellow bone or red bone or light bright, you're light skinned. If people gaslight you and say you're not dark enough to talk about colorism, it's because you're light skinned. If people call you light brown, you're still light skinned. Hence the term light brown. They didn't say dark brown, they said light brown. And the reason.
No, that's not how it goes, though. Dark, that's not quite how it is. Okay, so how do I explain this in this video? For one thing, when it comes to the black community, brown skin would be light brown, basically. Dark brown is dark skin, and brown skin, like medium brown, is dark skin. So it's not how you're trying to see it. Like, say, for example, Keke Palmer would be dark skin. She's not dark brown. She's a regular brown complexion, but she's dark skin. Someone who's light brown would be medium. So continue.
They said it's light is because they know that at the end of the day, you'll still be thrown into that light skin category. That's why they pointed out the difference. If you've never been called brown skinned in your entire life, you're probably light skinned. If men who are the same complexion as you are called light skinned, then you're light skinned. So,
yeah, I've seen people call people like this brown skin. I don't understand why you expect them to not call them brown skin. But you are right about the whole male thing. There is a sense of certain men in the black community are more likely to be called light skin if they're brown skin than females. And you could say that's because some people think light skin is better, I guess, for females. So they do that sometimes. But I would say people are just lazy about it, honestly. And it's just an individual basis, because sometimes brown-skinned women are called light-skinned too. So, I don't know.
Haven't you guys noticed how when it comes to men, the standards for light skin are way more broad? And a lot of unambiguous women, they have no problem pointing out if a guy is light-skinned, if he's a little bit.
Trey Songz isn't light-skinned to anybody. You're just being weird.
Darker, they don't mind it.
Trey Songz would be dark-skinned. I've heard some people call him brown-skinned, but he's dark-skinned, in my opinion. That's just what it is. Like I said, if you pick up a crayon and the crayon is a regular brown color, if your skin matches that crayon, you're dark-skinned. So you could be dark brown or you could be a regular brown, but you're dark skin. If you're brown skin, you're light brown. Like, I'm light brown. I would be considered medium. So, like light skin would be sans the brown color. You're brown skin. You're not light skin because you still have brown in your skin. It's kind of easy. Like it's pretty simple here because it's just a matter of if your skin has brown, then you are brown skin. If your skin does not have brown in it, then you are light skin. If your skin is the color of a brown crayon, then you're dark skin. You shouldn't be stressed out about this. Continue.
But if you're a woman, if you are darker than Mariah Carey, you better sit your black ass down because you're a dark-skinned, unambiguous black woman.
You're extreme about that. That's not true. Let me explain the whole light skin category because you said they all have to have a range, right? So brown skin would have a range too. Light skin would have a range from like Halsey all the way up to like Doja Cat. And then brown skin starts at around like Rihanna's color. Cardi B is like the darkest of light skin too. But like Rihanna, a little lighter than Rihanna is like the lightest of brown skin. And then the darker complexions of brown skin would be like, I would say like, what's her name? Jennifer Hudson and Angela Bassett, sorta. Like those are the dark ends of brown skin. Some people would consider dark skin. So yeah. And then dark skin is everything darker than that. So it's just like every range has a range, but it's very simple. I think your problem is that you don't want to acknowledge that you're brown. You think it's better to be light skin. And if you really were real with yourself, you would already know that Jennifer Hudson is basically closer to your color than Halsey is. Halsey has white skin. Your skin is nowhere near white, okay? Your skin would be much closer to Jennifer Hudson, so you would be considered brown, and that's why people say you're brown skin.
And it's pure gaslighting. It's because they don't want you to feel too good about yourself. They don't want you to be on your high horse. They don't want you to put yourself on a pedestal. But it's pure gaslighting, okay?
Why did you think that it would be a pedestal to be light skin, though? Like, no skin tone is better than another, dude.
So if Rihanna is light-skinned, then I'm light-skinned. If Shamar Moore is light-skinned, then so am I. If you're the same color as women like Beyonce, Terrence Howard, or any of those people I mentioned in this video, you're still light-skinned. You need to be proud of your skin tone.
Yeah, all those are brown skin, but okay.
Don't pretend to be darker than what you really are. We've been gaslit so much to the point where we literally...
You're basically acting like if you associate with people that are darker, that's somehow a bad thing. I think that's why you're thinking you would rather associate with people lighter than your complexion than darker. And I will show this in another video where she's literally attacking women who have similar complexions to her, but that's for another video. We'll let her continue.
Literally have to pretend to be dark-skinned, unambiguous people just to fit in. I'm not doing that crap anymore. We don't pander to anyone over here. We own who we are, and we're proud of our complexions. Speaking of complexion...
If you were really proud, you wouldn't be having issues with people a little darker than you and only wanting to associate with those a little lighter than you. It shows that you have an issue with your own skin tone. But continue.
If your foundation shade is something like golden or butter pecan or beige, you're light-skinned. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you walk into a room full of black people and you're one of the lightest...
Rihanna wouldn't have foundation colors like that. I know because my natural color is around her color. Well, outside of Nevada. But yeah, when I would wear foundation back then, it was like more like honey, toast, stuff like that. I don't think that would pertain to anyone who's light skinned. And you're saying that that's your color, so I wouldn't think that you're light skinned.
In the room, it's because you're light-skinned. It's very simple, but we've been so shamed to the point where we literally have to pretend to be dark skinned in order to fit in, when you know for a fact that when an unambiguous person looks at you, they can clearly tell the difference. Unambiguous women have made it clear that they want us to get out of their spaces, so that's what we're doing. But in order to do that,
Why do you put up a crazy dark-skinned person as the face of dark-skinned people, though? Like, Rashida Strober is clearly mentally ill. That's not every dark-skinned girl. That's just that crazy lady. That lady's insane. There's a few people that are light-skinned that are crazy. I'm not going to name their names because, why throw them into this? But point is, there are plenty of crazy people of all complexions. But I don't think that has to do with what most dark-skinned people feel, or most light-skinned, or brown-skinned, or white people, or black people, Asian people, Hispanic people. You get me. Continue.
we need to embrace who we are and be honest with
Video's almost
ourselves
over.
first. So, to answer the question, what color is light skin? Well, the color of light skinned, in no particular order, is.
What color is brown skin, though? You have failed to make a definition of brown skin. See, I've talked to you before on another live chat, and you literally were trying to say that brown skin was light skin because you didn't want to admit that you are brown skinned. That's what you said. And the way it is in the black community, really, seriously, it's like there's light skin, there's brown skin, and there's dark skin. You said there has to be a variation between all three, right? And I would agree. There's a continuum for each of those three shades. That means that each shade is going to have as much room as the next one. That means you can't just say that Jennifer Hudson is just one brown skin shade and that's it. It would be a whole continuum of her shade. So that would include like people like Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown, all the way to like Angela Bassett, or like Tyra Banks, or like Whitney Houston. It would be a whole continuum. It's not just one shade. Just like dark skin isn't one shade, light skin isn't one shade. All have a continuum. You just don't want to be included in that continuum.
Beige, tan, high yellow, medium and dark yellow, golden, light brown, red bone, butter pecan, butterscotch, wheat colored skin tones, cashew colored skin tones, caramel, rose gold skin tones, peach colored, honey colored skin tones, peanut butter. Those colors are all light skinned. And
I wouldn't agree. I would think most of those colors would fall under the color of brown. Like beige, what you just called high yellow, I don't really consider that term because no color is high. But anyway, any shade of yellow, basically, or beige or golden, those would be light skin. Tan, light brown, red bone, butter pecan, butterscotch, wheat colored, or cashew colored, or caramel. I don't know about rose gold, but peach and honey and peanut butter are all shades of brown. All of those colors would be shades of brown, which would mean your skin is brown, which would mean you're brown skinned. Because if you have brown in your skin, then you're brown. It's when you're not when you don't have brown in your skin, then you aren't brown. You're light skinned. It's simple.
if you think these colors are the average colors of unambiguous dark-skinned black people, you're being intellectually dishonest.
You literally stole a photo off of my video showing that there are light-skinned black people that are light-skinned Africans. I specifically posted a light-skinned girl with 100% African on her DNA results. You took that photo and you've been showing it ever since. And somehow you say that black people can't be light-skinned. Like, what are you doing? How do you hold up a photo where I'm proving black people can be any shade and then go around saying that black people who are fully black and unambiguously black can't be light-skinned? How do you do that? You're like talking, you're contradicting what you're saying, basically. You're talking out of two sides of your mouth. You're not making any sense. Continue the
Not
video.
saying
We're
you can't
almost done.
have
Half a
these skin
minute.
tones and be monoracial, but the exceptions don't make the rule. Here on this channel, we know what a light-skinned person is, and we accept the fact that light-skinned people come in different shades too. Some of us are pale and some of us are more tan, but we are still a part of the light-skinned family. So
Now it's a family? What the fuck?
what do you think? Has anyone ever tried to gaslight you about your skin tone? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty.
I just want to know, with the whole thing of skin tone, why do you act like it's such a big damn thing? Like, you act like it's a racial subset. You act like it's some kind of culture. You acted like it was like a whole light-skinned family. Like, what the fuck? That's just weird. And I mean, plenty of people of all sorts of races have those shades. No one's saying that skin tone defines a race. So it's kind of weird to me that you're trying to act like there's such a thing as a light-skinned family. What the fuck are you talking about? But anyway, I'm happy your video is over. My point and my question to you in this whole ordeal was, what is brown skinned? Okay, you don't have a continuum for brown skinned because you are brown skinned and you don't want to include yourself. You want to call people who are dark skinned, and then you want to only put like one shade in for brown skin and then kind of like overlap and call brown skin dark skin. So then you can't include yourself, because if it's an overlap with dark and brown, then you wouldn't include yourself. I wouldn't include myself as well, because I mean, like, we're not dark enough to be dark skins. But you can't just say just because you're not dark skinned, you're now light skinned. That's sounding desperate. Like, be proud of the skin you come in and what God made you. As beautiful as it is. I mean, light skinned people, they're beautiful for what they are. Brown skins are beautiful for what they are. Light skins are beautiful for what they are. White people are beautiful for what they are. So you don't have to try and want to be someone else. I mean, just be happy with what you have. So thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and have a great day. Bye.